A popular Japanese urban legend is the existence of human pillars, people that were deliberately buried alive inside of construction sites. This started from Japan and is also known as Hitobashira, which means human pillar. This legend has been around since ancient times and is based on something odd that people believed. They believed that a human sacrifice sealed inside of a structure would make a foundation more stable and durable after construction. In other words, if a human was buried alive under or near the building, it would make the building stronger. By doing this sacrifice, they thought that the gods would be happy with it and let the building be safe from natural disasters. Back then, working conditions on many Japanese sites were known to be poor, and many people would perish from disease and exhaustion while on the job. These unfortunate men would then be buried near the building to hide what had happened and to ensure the foundation would stand for decades to come. It has also been suggested that some labourers were killed during construction of castles as a security measure so that the secrets of the building couldn't get out to the public. Because of this, it is believed that buildings with human pillars are haunted by the people that were sealed in the construction. After all, many of them had horrible deaths, which can provoke a spirit even more. A famous story of this legend is the history of Macleod Castle. Built during the 17th century, the stone wall of the central tower would repeatedly fall after construction. So, naturally, the builders were convinced that their only option was to sacrifice a human for the main pillar. They found a beautiful maiden dancing at the local bonfire. The Techtech is a malevolent Japanese ghost that has entered the domain of both urban legend and horror franchise in its own right, similar to the more infamous Kuchisake Onna. Her name comes from the sound she makes as she pursues victims, running across the ground using her hands as her entire lower section has been torn off, leaving nothing but her upper torso and arms by which the demon hunts down her prey. They belong to a very large subtype of Japanese demon known as the vengeful ghosts, usually women. These demons were once human, but became monsters after death, and now exist to kill and torment the living. Techtech was originally a human called Chizo, who was bullied and or raped, which caused her to jump off a train station onto the tracks. She was then cut in half by an incoming train. She barely survived due to the cold weather. Tech crawled to a person for help, but upon seeing her disfigurement, they left her to die. A vengeful spirit now walks the streets of Japan. As a younger schoolboy was walking home at night, he spotted a beautiful young girl standing by a windowsill, resting on her elbows. They smiled at each other for a moment. The boy wondered what a girl was doing in an all-boys school. Before he could wonder more about the girl, she jumped out of the window and revealed her lower half was missing. Frightened, he stood on the sidewalk, but before he could run, she caught up to his location quickly and cut the boy in half. If someone saw or was spotted by the Techtech at night, the Techtech will pursue them, armed with either a saw or a scythe. If that person was not fast enough, she will slice him in half at the torso, mimicking her own demise. Long ago, during the feudal period of Japan, a young and beautiful woman lived happily with her husband, who was a samurai. However, she was very vain, and one day she secretly cheated on her husband after meeting a younger and more attractive man. Enraged, the samurai raised his sword and mutilated her mouth ear to ear and asked her, "Who will think you're beautiful now?" After the incident, the woman died, either from her injuries or committed suicide after the experience, and she later became a restless spirit, doomed to roam Earth for eternity. As a vengeful spirit, she hid behind the bushes and stalked students who walked home from school during the late afternoon. While a naive student hears a rustling sound within the bushes, the woman will appear in front of him or her and ask them if she is beautiful or not. If the student replies no, she will immediately kill them with her large pair of scissors. If the student replies yes, she will take off the mask and see the horrendous slit mouth. The woman will proceed to ask them if she is beautiful now, but if the student continues to say no, she will cut them in half with her scissors. However, if the student replies yes, the woman will mutilate their mouth from ear to ear with her scissors. While some students may try to run away from the situation, she will simply teleport right in front of them. However, if you give an answer which will confuse her, such as so or maybe, then it gives you enough time to run away, and then you can finally outrun the slit-mouthed woman.